We back.
Yeah. Oh shit! What's going on, DZ? How you doing, brother?
Good, brother.
We are back. Oh, now we're gone. Hey, we had a little bye week. DZ had
Yes,
a.
sir.
You know what? Some people may be upset, but I think we deserve a pat on the back. We made it. We did good. I don't know how many weeks in a row, but we didn't burn out. We took a mid-season bye, and I feel refreshed. I feel good to go. I think we're good for the rest of the season on these videos. You know who didn't take a bye or have a bye week? The research team. I think we have some good stuff going on. This
Yes,
show.
sir.
Uh, let's see where we are at. Did you have any notes for? I had stuff for this past week, but did you go 2 weeks back, or just this past?
Well, I did do my pay dirts and Joe dirts from last week, but obviously we're not going to go over those
All right, that's fine.
this week.
Let's see. I haven't done anything on the site in a little while. Been kind of busy. I do need to get back on and track everyone's transactions. Make sure you're submitting your rosters, confidence picks.
Ah,
I was up there for a minute and then I had a bad week this week. So
I shit the bed, Nate. Dog. I forgot to do Thursday night football, and I think I forgot to do my. I can't. I even went back and looked at it, but I think I forgot to do my survivor pick.
you did forget to do your survivor.
Fuck it. I'll never win that shit anyway. Never
Buff
win that shit anyway.
Buffalo knocked out a few people this week. We did have a couple of players have some the best weeks yet of the season for 2022. Probably gonna get. I don't have the exact numbers. Probably gonna get onto those on some pay dirts. I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, sir.
so we'll get to there. But so my little notes for the bye week, my bye week research, easy. Went on and I was impressed with Bird himself and him just being the top of that division at 8-2. So what had happened was I just looked on the season and I noticed that he has been the lead of that division so far from week one all the way through. And I was like, oh, that's pretty impressive, Bird. And then I started to do more research, blah, blah. Things started going. And DZ, this is where we're at. I went through everybody's record, everybody in the whole EDL, and I looked to see how many weeks you have been in first place throughout history of the EDL. So I have those numbers for you,
No, the
DZ.
fuck you did.
Yes, I did. So
Jeez. This is
now
awesome.
now this is just who's if you were tied for first place in a week, I only picked the person that was in first place. So if you were tied and did not have sole possession, I still counted that week, but whoever won the tiebreaker is the only person I counted for that. Make sense? So
Yes.
you had to be first place, tiebreaker, everything, but I logged it. All right. So just going back, so for this season, for instance, Bird, all 9 weeks, has been in first place. Pete in the Central Division, all 9 weeks, been in first place. And in the East Division, I have been in first place for 5 weeks, and Robbie's been in first place for 4 weeks. Now let's take an even deeper look, DZ. Let's go the past 3 years, or the past 2.5 seasons, and let's see how everybody's doing. So past 2.5 seasons, or 36 weeks. The past 36 weeks of the EDL, and this is all regular season, obviously. Seward is actually top dog in the West. He has had been first in that division for 21 of the 36 weeks, which is 58%. Number one for the Central Division is Pete, who has been in first place for 33 of the 36 weeks since the past 2.5 years. That's 91%. Deezy, Pete hasn't been in first place of the Central Division since November 2nd of 2020. Fucking wild. Guys, Central, Rupp, get on it. You gotta get Pete out of there. Myself, I've actually been in first for 31 weeks of 36 for the past 3 years. That's 86%. Not as good as Pete, but still pretty impressive. So let's see. Before I get to, I have everyone's percent for the whole thing. I'm gonna rattle down. But wire to wire, first places. So any team that has first place from week 1 all the way through in the history of the EDL, Pete's done it 3 times. I've done it 3 times. Then you have Seward, you, Rupp, and Edwards have all done it once. That's all that's happened, wire to wire, first place in the EDL. Now, top to bottom, let's hear it. This is out of 140 games for the OGs. 140 games, EDL history. Seward has been in, or let's start from the bottom and go up. Edwards has been in first place 28 weeks. That's 20%. Casey, 30 weeks. That's 21%, maybe rounded up 22. Seward is the top dog in the West Division. 54 weeks. That's 39% of the time since the history of the EDL. Bird, I went back and did this because Bird has 17 weeks, but he only has 75 games in the EDL. That's the past 5.5 seasons. That's 23% since he's been in the EDL. He has been in first, so that's pretty good for a takeover team. Next division, we have Matt and Zoe have yet to be in first place at all.
Ever?
Since being in the EDL. That division ever. That division's got a stranglehold. Rupp has 41 times, that's 29%, and Pete is 74 times, that's 53%. So over 80% from the two of them. And the only other first place were before Zoe and before Matt. And then to the final division, we have Robbie, who's been in first 13 times, which is 9%. Dan, you've been in first 34 times, which is 24%. And I've been in first 73 times, which is 52%. Jerome, I'm not quite sure how long you've been in the league. You've had 1 week. 1 week were you in first since you've been in the EDL. That's what I got, brother.
Dude, that was amazing, Nate. But I understand why you did it now, because it's obviously 73 weeks for you. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
I didn't think I was doing that good. I've always, I got division banners up in my franchise's garage, but so.
Hey, maybe next week we could do like Super Bowls and all that good stuff.
I know. Definitely not. But yeah, so that's, research team was on it. It kind of spiraled. It all started with Bird and being impressed with what he's done lately. And then, I just wanted to grab everybody's numbers. So that's where we're at. And without further ado, let's take a look at last week.
Ooh, let's do it.
Do you have anybody from week 8 that you want to say, sucked or did good? Any owner? Any player, any owner?
It kind of sucks because we had a hell of a little battle,
We did.
And it really would have been cool to talk about it, but I'm good moving on. I didn't win the motherfucking game. So, Alvin Kamara had a big game, Christian McCaffrey, and I know we're going to talk about some other big games coming up this week, so we can just shoot right into that.
All right, weekly results. Here we are. Our game of the week was, I think it was Rupp and Bird, right?
Yeah, but we got to start making the game of the week after the fact. Come on.
Yeah, all right, we'll go to maybe that's a good idea. Or we'll shoot, I don't know. All right, start with the next one. We're going to look at Edwards and Zoe. Somebody had to come out with a win here. This could have been the game of the week. We talked about it. Edwards got it done, 194 to 142.6. Edwards, you're losing ping pong balls, just by the day. DZ, who is a Spade Dirt?
Well, hey, for the toilet bowl enthusiasts that we got watching the show, this is right up your alley right here. God, Nate, this is gross right here. Edwards, I went with Darnell Mooney. He started the season off really, really slow. He's 17.7 this week. Last 4 games, Nate, 22 catches, 234 yards. That Bears offense is starting to look real sweet. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But I think for Edwards, man, you got to start seeing these guys that had some promise do something. And Darnell Mooney is starting to kind of turn that corner for him, making him It's got to make his future look a little bit better.
Dude, Mooney's first touchdown on the year. Nice job, guy. Who is this? Joe Dirt.
Uh, this is a little bit unfair, but I went with just because he got traded. I went with Kadarius Toney on this one. He only played 9 snaps, so this technically isn't fair. But only 3.2 in his first game with Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure he's going to be fine, but you'd want him to start off with more of a bang than that.
Definitely. And let's take a look at Zoe's and his pay dirt.
It's going to be his pay dirt every week, Nate. You can put it down. It's the only impressive player on his whole squad. It's Travis Etienne. Absolutely love this kid, Nate Dogg. And what's crazy about this, it's supposed to be this little bitty running back, 28 carries in this game against the Raiders, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns, 32.2 points. Nate, the last 3 weeks, he's averaging nearly 28 points per game, making him the number 3 running back in that time span.
I'll tell you, I want to give Zoe a little good job. I think I've dabbled and tried to get Etienne as a little trade talks. I know other few people have, and he held the bag. Yes. He had diamond hands through all the bad times, and it looks like it's paying off. Zoe, way to not sell that guy for peanuts before he popped. Give me his Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I swear, Zoe has mastered the art of getting players with negative points. And hey, this one hurts, man. I mean, this is your quarterback, Nate. Negative 3.2. I guess if you're tanking, that's a beautiful thing. But goddamn, negative 3.2, Nate. I did not look this up, but that's got to be one of the worst scores by a quarterback in the EDL history.
Gotta be. Moving on to our next game, we got myself putting up a healthy score. Getting the win over Seward, 271.4 to 148. Give me my pay dirt.
I got you down for your highest score, Devontae Adams, 36.6 this week, Nate. I believe this is all at halftime, damn near. I swear, 10 catches, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, and really got nothing going in the second half. I wanted to put him down as your pay dirt because I wanted to talk about, which we didn't get to talk about last week, one of his worst games ever, only 1.4 last week. So really rebounding nicely for you in this week.
And Joe Dirt?
You know, Nate, you got some guys. I mean, Dontrell Hillary, you probably didn't expect much for. Dawson Knox, I mean, he's trash. But I went with Raheem Mostert, and here's why, Nate. Only 10.4 in this game right here. Jeff Wilson, who you were going against, outscored him by 8 points. And what's concerning to me is Mostert only 27 plays in this game. Jeff Wilson, 28. The previous, since week 4, Mostert has had 40-plus plays every single game. And if you want to talk about roles, we know Jeff Wilson is the goal line guy. So what? Mostert's going to be the catch guy? Not so much in this one. Wilson with 3 catches, Mostert with 0. It's got to be a little bit concerning for you. We'll see how that works out. It's a good explosive offense, but that kind of sucks for you.
It definitely does. I was thinking and feeling all that, but I had not researched the numbers behind it. Timeshare. Give me Seward's pay dirt.
Man, he's his highest score, but I was going to go with this guy anyway, just because of the plane ride, man. We're going with Kirk Cousins, man. 20.2, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, but that's not the important part, man. We all saw the video, bro. Dude shredded, got an 8-pack, got all the chains on, doing the dance. Gotta love it, man.
Kirk Thuggins. All right,
yes,
give me his Joe Dirt.
This is more of like, what the fuck's going on? I feel like Houston's such a trash fucking organization. They always seem to pull their players hostage. They did this shit with Deshaun Watson, even though he's a scumbag and all that. But they didn't trade Brandon Cooks. But why? Brandon Cooks did not play. He got 0. I feel like that's a good, valuable receiver for Seward. But now it's like, does this guy even play the rest of the year? Like, what the fuck are the Texans doing for?
No idea. All right, good win for me. I'll take it. Move on to our next game. We got Casey and Jerome. Tight one. Only 6 points here. 5.5, something like that. 228.3 to 222.8. Casey with the dub ski and a monster fucking week. His pay dirt. Joe Mixon.
Oh, is that what we're going with?
I'm guessing. Talk about Joe. I'm gonna try to see where he
Yeah.
lands in rankings. Talk
No,
about him.
no. I actually got this stat. I already got this looked up already.
Awesome, dope.
Yes, Joe Mixon, 59 point. By the way, this is the game of the week. Let's be real. When we look back at it, this is the game of the week right here. Joe Mixon, 59.5 points in this one day. Entering week, this last week, he was the number 10 running back, averaging 17.8 points per game. After this week, he's the number 3 running back and damn near raised his average by 5 points. He's now averaging 22.4 points per game on this season. Ridiculous game.
What a trash can. All right. This is.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. This proves that I'm right over you, right?
Yeah.
All
Whatever.
these years.
Yeah. Who's this Joe Dirt?
Man, hey, I went with Tyler Boyd. I mean, because look at 9.4 in this one, Nate. Hey, look, everyone. I mean, I thought, when Jamar Chase got injured and was going to be sitting out, I thought this was Tyler Boyd's chance to shine. Not the case. They 8 catches, 82 yards in the last 2 games, and if it wasn't for a touchdown, a late garbage time touchdown in the that helped us cover uh, against the Browns, like this guy wouldn't even have a double-digit game since Jamar left.
Jamar's the one that stretches the field there. Give me his Joe Dirt. Oh, wait. That was his Joe Dirt. Let's move on to Jerome's team. Give me his pay dirt.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, this is crazy. I dug into this guy quite a bit. Justin Fields, man, at 50.8 points, 178 yards rushing on the ground. That is a fucking record. Michael Vick, take a back seat. Uh, Fields got some dog in him. Hey, you see what I did there? Anyways, anyways, 4 total touchdowns in this one. Hey, this is crazy. Since week 5, which is nearly half the season, Justin Fields is the number 1 overall player in EDL. Let that sink in. Number 1 player. Not number 1, not number 1 quarterback, number 1 player.
That's insane. I was thinking, too, he started him over Herbert. Who was Herbert going against? The Falcons, too? Herbert threw 43 times. I mean, I feel like
Holy
that's kind of
smokes.
ballsy to start Fields over Herbert.
He's
He
been
was
balling.
right. He was right, but I mean, that's insane. Give me his pay dirt. I mean, Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt.
I went with Amon Ross St. Brown. Hey, after a hot start, only 9.5 points in this game since week 3. Nate, he's the number 65 wide receiver in the league. He did miss a game and he got knocked out of the game early. To be fair, but teammates Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond have outscored him since week 3.
Not good. But what was good was the win for Casey. So good shit, Casey. Moving on over Jerome, and let's go to our next game. We got Pete putting up high points this week, 284.7. Pretty impressive. Robbie, 190. Not a great showing, but let's look at Pete and his pay dirt.
Yeah, I keep refusing to give Patrick Mahomes the pay dirt, even though he probably deserves it every single week.
Keep on
And
refusing.
I didn't do it again this week. Hey, I went with a player I traded to Pete. Cordero Patterson. First game back, Nate. Only 44 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 24 plays. And the main reason why you guys got to check this out. Go on Twitter. Maybe I'll find the clip. Maybe I'll send it to you. He had a goal line carry and absolutely just fucking trucked a linebacker from the Chargers. And you just don't expect that from a guy that played wide receiver, kick returner his whole damn career. And now he's 32-year-old running back trucking dudes at the goal line. It was impressive.
I thought you were just going to leave it at he got a goal line carry, and that was it. Like, that was
Bro,
going to be...
he gets goal line carries like crazy.
Give me his Joe Dirt.
Man, Allen Robinson, mate. Dude, that offense, man. And I'll get into this a little bit later. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant a little bit later on. A-Rob, 5.4 points. Nate, dude, it's so funny because he's like, man, get him out of Chicago, get him out of Chicago. This guy's gonna flourish. That motherfucker,
No.
like, get him back to fucking Chicago. Let him be Justin. I keep calling him Josh Fields. Get him back to Chicago. Let him play with Justin Fields because goddamn you, Stafford, you suck.
You froze for a second, but you're back. We've had good connection the whole time. Looking at this, Pete's only started him 3 times here, and up here, and hasn't really gotten anything good out of him. We'll see if he keeps going that direction or not. But let's take a look at Robbie's team and his pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you gotta love what Dallas Goedert's done. I mean, 28 points in this one, 8 catches, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Number four tight end in EDL, and actually, really, you could put him number 3 because he's got a bye week coming up, or he's already had his bye, and Zach Ertz hasn't. Which Zach Ertz, I wonder if does Zach Ertz get traded this year? No, that was last year. Never mind. Sorry. So he's ahead of Zach Ertz in average per game, but number 4 technically. Solid year. I was, before the season, I wondered how this was going to work, and it's worked out nicely for Dallas Goedert.
Good year for him. Who's his Joe Dirt?
Man, Nate, this is getting bad. It's only getting worse. And we're to the point, it's like, do you keep starting Drake London? I mean, if you're trying to win, do you just keep starting this guy? 3.3 in this one, Nate. Since week 3, he got off to a hot start, if you remember. Since week 3, the most catches he's had in the game is 4, and the most yards he's had in the game is 4. Or 40, sorry. And since week 4, he's the number 70 wide receiver. Nate, that's the 3rd page on the EDL if you're looking them up by total points.
That's tough. That's tough. 'Cause I thought he was going to be a stud.
That's tough. Well, hey, let's talk about it real quick, though. Real quick. Dude, Arthur Smith's trash, bro. Like, dude, you have to fucking use your dudes, man. Use Pitts. Use fucking London. People are talking shit about Jeff Saturday. Guess what, Saturday? If you just use your fucking studs, everything will be fine.
They're decoys. They're decoys. High
fucking
pick,
trash, man.
1st round decoys. Good one for Pete. Moving on to our next game. DZ, you got under 200? Were you guys playing on the 8-foot hoops?
Yes, sir.
180 to 164. DZ getting the dub over Matt. Give me your pay dirt.
Man, this is gross, bro. I didn't have a guy over 20, Nate. And so I kind of went somewhere where you wouldn't expect it. I went with Carlos Dunlap here. Only 13.2 points. He had a sack and a half on Sunday Night Football. But man, like, I needed him to come up clutch for me on Sunday Night Football. I was down by 8. I did have Olave going on Monday night, but I had Dunlap versus that's KC's other rookie. I can't say his name. Rookie DN, and he outscored him by 11.4, man. And I appreciate that kind of shit. I appreciate that kind of hard work. And he's a true snake, bro. He's been on Seward's team his whole career. But when I look into his eyes and he looks into my eyes, he knows that he's a snake, and I appreciate what he did for me.
Fucking Carlos Dunlap. Amen. Give me your Joe Dirt.
I'm at my wit's end, Nate.
Stafford? Are we going back to Stafford?
I you know what? Hey, I know he listens to the show, so right now I'm just gonna look into the camera. Matt, I'm gonna call you Matthew because I'm not fucking happy with you right now. Listen, bro. Do you know what Superflex is? You ever heard of that concept, you fucking cocksucker? Get your shit together by next year. You got generational talent wide receiver. Stop fucking around, okay? Remember that chick you pushed off the stage? It's going to be way worse for you if you don't get your shit together.
Fucking Matt Stafford. Ooh. You're going to have to cut him. Just cut him. Let's go to Matt's team and give me his pay dirt. Something to make feel better. Something to make feel better.
Anyways.
Matt's team.
I even left out a stat there. Oh man, well, let me just throw this in there just for that Matt Stafford fucking hate, bro. Justin Fields last 3 weeks has more points than Stafford all year. Anyways, um, Matt, I'm going with Austin Eckler, man. Miami. It's like whatever. Like Jalen Hurts is cool. 26.9 for Eckler. I wanted to get into some stats. Like, a lot of people were talking like we were talking with Ponce in our game chat. He's talking about how he scores a lot of touchdowns and shit. Like dude, this guy is like a volume type guy. Only 71 total yards in this one, 2 touchdowns. He's tied for first in total touchdowns with Nick Chubb this year. And this one's crazy. This is gonna blow your mind a little bit. He's tied for third with Stephon Diggs. So we're not talking about just running backs with 60 receptions on the season.
Insane. Definitely a good player to have. Who is his Joe Dirt?
I just gotta keep pouring salt into the wound. I actually liked this trade before the season, but Matt was going all in this year, and I think he dropped the ball here. He traded James Conner to him for Saquon. You also threw in a first, and I get that. I thought it was a decent trade at the time, but now, man, it is looking real bad. Only 12.8, and James Conner's return. Number 42 running back this year, Nate. If you're a second page running back, you got to get more than a first to get first for Saquon Barkley.
Good win for you, DZ. And let's circle back to our not so game of the week. Who was it again? It was Rupp versus somebody. There it is, Bird. Bird 237 getting it done over Rupp. Rupp 168. Not a strong score. Birds, give me his pay dirt.
Dude, this is why I think Bird is very, very scary. I mean, and like, hey, Pete, get that fucking undefeated season. I'll celebrate that shit with you later. Right now, I'm rooting against you. I'm sorry, bro. I just can't have that, So, I mean, Bird's one of our last fucking chances to get this done. And this is why he's a very scary team right here, man. He's already got, like, the skill position guys. They're very, very stacked, got a lot of depth. But, man, he's got a guy, Matthew Judon, at linebacker, the number one linebacker in the league. You wouldn't believe that. I own this fucking guy. Let him go in offseason. Fuck me. 26.7 in this one. He terrorized Sam Ellinger, or however the fuck you say his name in his second start for you guys. 11.5 sacks on the season. This is a big piece to have. These are the kind of guys you need to go off. If you're gonna be a guy like Pete, you gotta have these linebackers get a couple sacks, a couple forced fumbles, shit like that, man. You need them.
Yes, sir. And give me his Joe Dirt.
No, excuse me. After I wrote him down, and I did a little bit of research, I realized it'd be kind of harsh, but I'm gonna leave him on there because I didn't want to scribble it out. But I went with DeAndre Swift here. This is a big guy that he got from you in the Kyler Murray trade. Only 8.4, 50 total yards. And then I went and looked. He only played 10 plays. So, I mean, like, 50 yards is pretty good.
For 10 plays, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Let's go to Rep Team, and we got to go super fast, easy, super fast.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
All right, Josh Palmer, 18.6. 106 yards, 8 catches. Going to be a star. 11.2 points per game. Ahead of guys like Cortland Sutton, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks. Let's go.
All right, dirt. Give me his dirt.
Okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was wrong. He's fucking trash, dude. 3.7. Averaging 6.8 over his last 4 after a hot start. Isaiah Pacheco, who sucks too, has taken a starting job.
I think this speech, it's good. All right, let's go to good shit. We got a pick, right?
Yes.
Previews?
Shit.
All right.
Get me there quickly, dog.
Okay, we got the game of the week. We'll just pick our game of the week now because we're going to repick our game of the week after the week. We got Rupp and Casey. I'm going Casey.
Oh, man. They got Rupp for 225. Is this like a time machine fucking projector? All right, I'm going Casey, man. Rupp's hurting, bro.
All right, myself versus Matt. Right here.
Easy.
Jerome, scared as shit, Jerome versus Pete.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Justin Fields ain't gonna bail him out in this one.
Nope, I'm going Pete. Zoe versus Seward here. This might turn out to
Oh,
be the game of the week. I'm going Zoe upset. Fuck it.
dude, another toilet bowl enthusiast game here. I think I'm going Seward.
You versus Edwards. I got you there, DZ.
I hate picking myself,
It's Edwards.
so I won't. Good win, Edwards.
And then we got Robbie versus Bird. Tough week. Gotta go Bird. Birds are doing good.
Yeah, Robbie's kind of in a little tailspin here. I do want. No, I'll save that for later. I'm gonna owe Robbie an apology somewhat, but I'm gonna save it for a later date when this player that I'm gonna apologize about actually has a game.
Good shit, DZ. That was a good show. Hey, we're back. We're back on it. You know, after the bye week, rock and roll into the playoffs. Realist EDL ever. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you next time.